frequently in your PD meetings and your PLCs do you really take time to talk about the health, happiness, well-being, joy of your students? Or is it data? Okay. Now, I understand completely that obviously data and all that kind of information can play a very important role and symbolize the well-being of humans. However, if you're to do one of those word clouds that charts the frequency of how much we mention the well-being health of the student and teacher versus how often we mention words like data, standards, end of course exam, this exam, that exam, multiple choice, blah, 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 it would be very depressing. It would be very revealing. We have a system that worships data and has human well-being as the byproduct, instead of a system that supports the well-being of human beings and has data as the byproduct. Because you can get great data and have miserable human beings. But I'm convinced you can't have healthy, happy, successful, prepared, strong human beings and still have bad data. Or if you do, it tells you what? You're getting the wrong data. And we don't work that way. It's almost like we are so worshiping that this is the data. We are ignoring the fact that we're leaving human beings behind. And I think it might be, as Carl Jung says, until you become conscious of what you're unconscious of, it will control your life and you'll call it fate. I think that maybe human beings are unconscious, that we just think our systems are supposed to suck and make most of us miserable, hate being there, just working for the weekend. And it really does not have to be that way. Start listening in your meetings to how much we directly and explicitly say the word data, compared to how much we actually focus and use words related to the health and well-being of the human beings in that system. So we stop sitting through meetings and PLCs and PD that incongruently tell us we're there to do what's best for the student, but yet only really mention the well-being of the student sparsely. So instead, let's focus on having really healthy, happy, functioning, engaged, strong human beings first, and then assume that if they are, then the data will reflect that. And if it doesn't, guess what? It's bad data. It's not bad human beings. Cool vibe.
Together we learn, together we grow, together we heal, together we flow. Be cool, every teacher, every school. Be cool, every teacher, every school. Be cool, every teacher, every school.